Hello friends, welcome to the session on discrete mathematics. In this session, we'll be discussing about coordinate geometry. In this session, we will see what we mean by coordinate geometry, how the coordinate geometry can be used to obtain the expression for line and the expression for circle. We will also see how the coordinate geometry is useful in computer science. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, and do subscribe to the channel to see many more videos on the various topics of the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by coordinate geometry. Nowadays, whenever we watch any movie, then one can always find that a lot of animation is being used in making of the movie. Also, people prefer to watch digital art on their mobile screen or on their computers. So whenever we want to create animations or whenever we want to create the digital arts, then you will find that we can make the use of the coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is where algebra meets the geometry. Coordinate geometry or geometry, you can say that it is a kind of the mathematics that is being used to measure the things which otherwise are impossible to measure with the devices. Say, for example, whenever you want to do any measurement with such as lines, circles, or triangles, then in such a case, you can make the use of coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is a Cartesian geometry that makes use of the coordinate system. So whenever we have any point, then that point will have certain coordinates. So the position of the point is being defined by the coordinates. By using coordinate geometry, we can find the distance between the 2 points. We can find the equation for the straight line. It is also possible that we can find the slope of the line, and we can also find the expression for the circle. So expression for the circle or expression for the straight line is just nothing but it is an algebraic way of describing the line or describing the circle. Coordinate geometry is very useful geometry because it is used in computers. You will find that it can be used for the creation and visualization of the different objects in the two-dimensional space, or when we go for the three-dimensional space, then the objects can be created by making the use of the coordinate geometry. In computer animations, whenever we want to create the motion of certain object, then the motion of the object can be created by making the use of the coordinate geometry. Coordinate geometry is also used whenever you want to set the windows on the various windows on the computer screen. Then there also one can make the use of the coordinate geometry. Whenever you want to create anything digitally, so that is being called as a digital art, or whenever you want to create any computer game, then there also one can find that the coordinate geometry is very useful. So in lot of branches in computer science, one can easily find the application of the coordinate geometry. Now let us understand what we mean by the coordinates of a point and what we mean by the quadrants. The Cartesian plane, many times it is being called as a number plane, is being divided into four quadrants. So whenever we have the two perpendicular lines, the first line, which is a horizontal line, is being called as a x-axis, and the second line, which is a vertical line, is being called as a y-axis. So whenever we have the two lines and they are perpendicular to each other, then you will find that the plane is being divided into four quadrants. So this is the first quadrant. Then this area is being called as a second quadrant. This area is being called as a third quadrant. And this area is being called as a fourth quadrant. So the lines, when they meet at a point, then that point of intersect is being called as the origin. And whenever we think of any point in the Cartesian plane, then the point can be represented by a ordered pair of numbers x comma y, where x represent the horizontal location of the point and y will represent the vertical location of the point. Say for example, when I consider this point, then one can easily observe that the horizontal location of the point is 4 and the vertical location of this point is 2, and therefore the coordinates of this point are 4, 2. So whenever we consider any point such as 4, 2, then 4 is the x coordinate and 2 is the y coordinate. As far as quadrant 1 is concerned, one can easily find that both x and y coordinates are positive in the quadrant 1. In the quadrant 2, the x coordinate is negative and the y coordinate is positive. So whenever we consider any point in the quadrant 2, then its coordinates can be such as -3, 4. In the quadrant 3, both x and y coordinates are negative. And in quadrant 4, the coordinate x is positive, but y is negative. So whenever we consider any point on the x-axis, then one can easily observe that its y coordinate will be equal to 0. And whenever we consider any point on the y-axis, then its x coordinate will be equal to 0. So for example, if I consider this point, then its x coordinate is -4 and y coordinate is 0. When I consider this point on the y-axis, then its x coordinate is 0 and its y coordinate is -5. Now, by using the coordinate geometry, it is possible that we can find the distance between the 2 points. Now, suppose we have been given x and y axis, and we have the 2 points. Suppose A is the point of which the coordinates are x1, y1, and B is the point of which the coordinates are x2, y2. Then it is possible that we can find the distance between these 2 points. So distance between these 2 points is just nothing but the length of the line segment which is joining the point. So if I draw a line segment between A and B, then this line segment will have certain distance d, and this is just nothing but the distance between the 2 points. The distance between the 2 points is always positive, except the special case when both the points will coincide with each other. Now, whenever we want to measure the distance from A to B, or even if we measure the distance from B to A, so there is no difference as far as the distance is concerned. Both the distance are same. Now, suppose we consider the 2 points A, x1, y1 and B, x2, y2, and then we can find the distance between the 2 points. So in order to find the distance between the 2 points, I will consider another point C in such a way that the triangle ABC is formed and the angle ACB is of 90 degrees. And therefore, for the triangle ABC, when I apply the Pythagoras theorem, then one can easily write that AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square. And therefore, AB is just nothing but the distance D. Therefore, D square is equal to AC, this distance, it can be given as x2 minus x1, and BC, this distance can be given as y2 minus y1, and therefore we will get x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. And therefore we can obtain the formula D is equal to under root x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. That is, whenever we want to find the distance between the 2 points, then we need to know what are the coordinates for the first point and second point. And then by using this formula, we can find the distance between the 2 points. It is also possible that whenever we draw any line, then the line has a certain slope, and this slope can also be measured. Say, for example, we consider a line L in the number plane. Now, suppose this line is being extended in such a way that it will cut the x-axis in such a way that it will make an angle theta with the x-axis, and the value of the theta is in the range of 0 to 90 degrees. And now we will consider the 2 points on this line. Suppose A is the first point having the coordinates x1, y1, and B is the another point having the coordinates x2, y2 on the line. Then in such a case, we can define the slope of the line, or many times it is called as the gradient of the line, interval AB, which is equal to m. So normally we make the use of the symbol m to write the slope of the line, which is just nothing but a rise divided by run. So rise is this distance and run is this distance. So this is just nothing but y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and this can be written as tan of theta. Now, if the line is parallel to the x-axis, say as shown in this diagram, then you will find that the slope of the line will be equal to 0. And if the line is parallel to the y-axis, in that case, one can easily observe that the slope of the line is of 90 degrees. Now we can go for the equation of the straight line. By using coordinate geometry, it is possible that we can describe the straight line by using the equation of the straight line. Now, straight line, one can say that it is a set of the points which is extended in opposite direction. So whenever we draw a line as shown in this figure, then this line can be called as a straight line. Now, as far as the general form of the equation is concerned, then a straight line can be represented by the linear equation ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. And therefore, one can say that this is the general form of the equation for the straight line. There are different forms of the equation for the straight line. Another form is the point gradient form. Now we will consider the line, and suppose the line is passing through the points x1, y1, and suppose the line has a slope equal to m. Then in that case, we can consider the point P, which is the another point on the line, and then we can write m is equal to y minus y1 divided by x minus x1. And therefore, we can rewrite this equation as y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. And this is the equation of the straight line. And this form of the equation is being called as the point gradient form. It is also possible that we can obtain another form of the equation, which is being called as the gradient intersect form. Now, suppose that we have a point x1, y1, and this point is such that it is equal to 0c. Then in that case, we can rewrite the equation, above equation, such that y minus c is equal to mx, or y is equal to mx plus c. And this form of the equation can be called as a gradient intersect form of the equation. So this is another form of the straight line equation. So y is equal to mx plus c. So here the condition is that the line must be intersecting at the x-axis at origin. Now there is another form of the equation, and this form of the equation is being called as the intersect form of the equation. Now consider a line which is passing through the 2 points. The first point is having the coordinates x1, y1, and the second point is having the coordinates x2, y2. Then in that case, we know that we can define the slope or the gradient of the line m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And now we can use the above form of the equation, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. And this form, as we know, is being called as the point gradient form. And now we can consider a special case where the line will pass through the points a comma 0 or 0 comma b. That is, the line is intersecting both x and y axis. Then in that case, the gradient can be defined as m is equal to b minus 0 is divided by 0 minus a, which is just nothing but minus b upon a. And in that case, the equation can be rewritten as y minus 0 is equal to minus b upon a into x minus a. That is just nothing but ay plus bx is equal to ab, or the same can be written as x divided by a plus y divided by b is equal to 1. So this is another form of the equation for the straight line, and this form is being called as the intercept form of the equation. So whenever we write any equation for the straight line, it means that we are describing the line or the algebra of associated with the line. It is also possible that we can obtain the equation of a circle. Circle, as we know, that it is a round two-dimensional shape. It has a middle point, which is being called as a center, and all the points that make the curved line of the shape are equidistant from the points. So whenever we have a center, and then all the points on the circle are at the same distance from the origin. Now we can consider a case where the circle has the center, and suppose it is at the origin, that is, it is at a point when x and y intersect. Then in that case, one can easily observe that we can consider this triangle OPN, and this is the radius of the circle. OP is being called as the radius of the circle R. This is x and this is y, and therefore we can write the equation x square plus y square is equal to r square, where r is the radius of the circle. So this is the equation of the circle. Now, if the center is not at the origin, suppose the center of the circle is at the point A comma B, then in that case, we can write the equation as Cn square plus Pn square is equal to Cp square. So this is just nothing but, you have to refer to this figure. This distance is x minus a, and this distance is y minus b, and this distance is r. And therefore, we can rewrite the equation x minus a square plus y minus b square is equal to r square. And this is another form of the equation of the circle, where the center of the circle is not at the origin. So as I said, that whenever we write the equation of the circle, it means that it is a algebraic way of describing the circle. So thank you, friends, for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by coordinate geometry and how it is possible to obtain the expression for the straight line and circle. Thank you all for viewing the session.